Philip Smith, the CEO of Cricket Leinster, is with us. An exciting night, Philip, and the sponsors getting involved first of all. How much was that due to this new strategy of calling it the Premier League?
I think the Premier League concept is something which sponsors can readily identify with from other sports as much as anything else. I think it's a stronger brand than Division 1 per se. And certainly it was easy to explain to our two new sponsors, one of which is obviously well established in the cricket world and one of which was new to the cricket world in Mason Alexander. But certainly Premier League makes sense to everybody, I think.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously Alan Lewis and LHW Financial Planning Limited. I think that's a really good sign, though, that someone who loves the game but is also an astute businessman sees the business side of it in terms of making the decision to get involved.
Absolutely. I mean, in fairness, Alan Lewis has been a massive supporter of cricket over many years. However, it is a business decision at the end of the day. Sponsorship has to provide a return for its sponsors. And Alan Lewis, no more than Mason Alexander on the recruitment side, will be aware that we have a very large base of members, both adult, youth, women's, right across the sport. There's a massive opportunity for them to identify with a very strong target audience for their products and services. So it makes sense for them from a business perspective. We can leverage our base for their benefit, and mutually we both benefit from the whole process.
I wanted to ask you finally, you have certainly, I guess, shaken up things and reviewed everything in your time as CEO of Cricket Leinster. You mentioned the base, like the critical mass now of people playing it is such that the likes of the Premier League, the likes of the sponsors coming on board, it's a good platform for the future from a stability and financial perspective.
It's a very, very exciting time to be involved in cricket, both locally and nationally. I mean, from a Cricket Leinster perspective, our clubs are at the heart of everything we do. We place our clubs and their focus and their strength as our top priority. We've clubs emerging and growing right throughout the province. We're expanding our development capacity into Meath, into Wicklow. We're looking at Laois, we're looking at Kildare. We're determined that this will be a province-wide programme, a mainstream cricket programme, and it's already emerging and very exciting developments on all levels.
And finally, as CEO, are you allowed to tip who you think is going to win the Premier Division this year?
I will enjoy walking around the grounds and chatting to people and engaging with the sport on a social level, and I certainly won't be given any tips at this stage. I'm a strictly neutral observer. Thank you.
Perfect answer. Philip, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Another one of the new sponsors for the Premier Division in Leinster Cricket is Mason Alexander. The head of sport from Mason Alexander, James Kluski, is with us. James, first of all, great to have you on board. Tell us a little about the company.
So Mason Alexander was started 5 years ago by Andrew Lynch, recruiting across several sectors, private equity, accounting and finance, aircraft leasing, and even in sports as well. So working across several areas. I'm recruiting in sports. I'm also helping athletes with things like career transition. We have a big involvement with sports. My background is tennis. I used to play full time. We have Rob Carney, who's on the Irish rugby team, who's a director of the company. Andrew Lynch, the MD, is a big sports fan. Always saw himself as being a sports agent, but we went into recruitment. So it's really in our DNA, sports. So it was a natural fit for us.
I'm interested, being a former professional tennis player, you must have really identified, I guess, the business model, but the passion and the planning that's going into cricket in terms of the way forward. It's a great time to get on board.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm very impressed with what I've seen with cricket the last couple of years and how the sport has grown, and we've noticed that, and we've seen it, you know, being made a test nation and the kind of the hype around that, and it makes sense for us. And also, I think the sport is you know, it's very big on relationships, and Mason Alexander as a recruitment company, the philosophy is around relationships. So again, I think it's a natural fit, and we're excited to be part of it. And you know, this evening has been great, and to meet some of the cricket community and to really get involved with it.
And obviously you'll be giving some of the weekend tennis a miss to get to many more cricket games this year.
Exactly, yeah. I'll be I was asking some of the guys for getting the dates of the fixtures, and I'm looking forward to getting behind it, attending it, and really learning about cricket and being involved with it.
Well, it's very exciting on an exciting night with the new Premier Division to have new sponsors involved. Thanks for talking to us, and fantastic to have you on board.
No problem. Thank you, and good luck with everything.
So very exciting with the Premier Division being announced and new sponsors as well. LHW Financial Planning. Alan Lewis, the man behind that, and a man deeply involved in Irish cricket. Alan, it's one thing to love the game and love the sport, but now you're putting your business on the line as well. You obviously are seeing a great leap forward in the future of the sport.
Yeah, I think it's been really, really good, and I think the energy that, you know, the new system post-test status with Cricket Leinster, and even this evening, the presentation of, you know, for the sponsors, for anyone involved in the game was so slick, it was so professional, and we want to be part of that, and we want to be part of this Premier League moving forward.
The Premier League itself, it's very exciting, isn't it? And it deserves to be rebranded when you look at the quality of the cricket that is played. It's so competitive.
Well, I think for the last probably 5 years, you know, I'm involved in coaching as well. I'm watching it week in, week out. The standard has been excellent. Some really high quality games. It's been ferociously competitive. You have 14 league games. Generally, the side winning the league, if you've won 9 or 10 of your games, you know, you're winning the league, which kind of just shows you the level of competition that's within it. With Marion coming back into it now this year, it's going to even add more kind of flavour to the pie, and everyone is just so anxious to do well.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate your backing and support, both from a personal viewpoint, but of course now with LHW Financial Planning involved, and let's hope it's a great season.
I certainly hope so, Robbo.
Derek Dockrell, the president of Cricket Leinster, is with us now. It's been an exciting night, Derek, and obviously the move to the Premier Division and Premier League cricket is an exciting one.
It is, and we've had a very good competitive Division 1 for many years, but the important thing for us moving forward is to showcase the best cricket in Leinster, and we are the strongest province in the country, and therefore to move to the Premiership is a very sensible idea for us.
Yeah. And tell me, the teams themselves, you mentioned about the best cricket in Leinster, there's no doubt about that, and when you look at the teams all the way down, it's going to be a fascinating year that you can't afford to slip.
No, last year showed what a good competition it is, and with 3 weeks to go, there was perhaps 3 or 4 teams who are in the running to win the league. I think it'll be the same again this year. We obviously have Marion coming up from Division 2, which is probably a place where they should never have been. But Clontarf will be hurting not having won it last year and having the title taken away from them when they thought they already had it. Hills are very strong as well. And Leinster will bounce back because they'll want to show that it wasn't just a lucky run that helped them win the title this year.
The other exciting news, of course, is 2 new sponsors with Mason Alexander and LHW Financial Planning coming on board, and that is a great sign of the growth of the sport off-field as well as on-field in terms of the business side of it, that companies like that are wanting to invest in cricket.
I think we're very lucky for various different reasons that cricket is attractive to companies. I think that for various different reasons. One is that it's females as well as males. We have a very good women's league as well as the men's leagues, and I think, you know, there's a lot of synergies between the companies that are sponsoring various leagues. We have been very lucky, and I would have to thank our CEO Philip Smith, because he has been the one who has developed the strategy and has helped us put us on a sounder commercial footing than we've been on for some years.
Derek, thank you very much for talking to us, and here's to a great season.
Thank you.